were playing down over there on the log.
Yeah?
And then we saw something shiny, so we all ran down over there.
And it was in the early morning?
It was at break time.
Yeah?
And then we saw something shiny. And we saw two people. They were in tight black suit. And they had big eyes. And we didn't actually see their nose. It was quite small. And their mouth was quite small as well. One of them was running in slow motion up across the ship. And the other one was standing beside the ship.
At first they didn't believe them, and many of the parents didn't believe the kids, but as the consistency of the stories came up over and over and over again, this very hard-nosed headmaster came to the conclusion those children saw something that was not of this world. That was his phrase. And even the teachers, who were even more skeptical, we met with all the teachers in a room, and we went around the room to hear what they thought, and they said, I know those kids, this happened, they saw it. The teachers were shocked and appalled, but it was kind of like a single event just shattering their worldview, because they were geared not to believe this, and yet there was just no other explanation. I mean, what I learn about this, I learn clinically. In other words, there may be physical findings, there may be corroborative marks on people's bodies, there may be independent observation that somebody is missing, and I have that in several cases. But what I'm forced to, and in a sense that's my strong suit, is to make a clinical judgment based on the relationship that I establish with. Maybe you can comment on, because this is what you do.
There were lights.
Yeah?
Surrounding the ship.
Like Sean's, huh? This is Sean's drawing.
Yes, yeah, basically.
Yeah. And, okay, one landed, the big one landed, and the two aliens came out.
Yes.
And what happened with the little ones?
The little ones, they were just flowing around in the air. They didn't touch the ground.
And these made the silver lights?
Yeah. They were making different color lights, like green, red,
flash to green, then they'd go to blue,
and then purple.
Yeah, purple and red. But it was like it was going like each one to each one, but quickly.
Yeah, like they'll go there and then it'll vanish, and then it'll go there and vanish, and then there and vanish.
But going quickly, like as if it was one ship moving.
Yeah.
I can this drawing.
Hello. Come on.
Were they yellow?
No, I didn't have a silver crayon, so I did it yellow.
Yeah. So, but what happened? You came home and you told your parents?
Yes. Some of them didn't believe it. My mom didn't believe it.
Your mom didn't believe you?
My mom also didn't believe it.
Is that hard? Because if you see something and nobody believes you, what happens?
Yeah, you
feel sad.
You start to lost out. You start to think as if it wasn't true. Yeah. People say to you, no, it wasn't true, so you think it wasn't true.
Then you think that you're mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, you get all upset.
Yeah, and everyone starts teasing. And my friends over the road, when I go there and I tell them about it, they just say, oh, he believes in aliens, oh, he's stupid.
You've seen too many movies.
In psychiatry, and the physical evidence, which is what people tend to concentrate on, and perhaps appropriately, is in my work secondary to the knowledge that is obtained from between two psyches, if you will, because and then I have to make a judgment based on my, is this psychosis, and how do we decide that? Is this some other form of trauma displaced onto UFOs or whatever? And I have, as everyone who knows my work, I've come to the conclusion, having gone at this from every possible angle I know how, I've not been able to come up with any alternative explanation. It is what it is, apparently, whatever that means, whatever the source of this may be. But again, as you hear these children, then you can make up your own mind whether you think they're putting you on or that they actually saw or experienced what they experienced. So we'll show the film, and then I tried to frame some questions for approaching the discussion, and I'd be glad to talk substantively about aspects of my work that I have not talked about if it's not familiar to you, but within the framework of these basic questions.
The day before the spaceship came, my friends and I were sitting in the playground
And one of my friends, her name Emily, she looked up into the sky and she said, "Oh, there's a UFO." She said, and I looked at it and she said, "No, just kidding, it's an airplane." And we looked up and I thought to myself, that can't be an airplane because it was very shiny. It looked kind of like a cigarette, you know? It was a long thing and then on the end it was all shiny. And so I said, maybe it is a UFO. So we were all kind of like getting scared now. And then the day that it happened, then we started thinking, yeah, that must have been a UFO in the sky. Because my brother also saw it, but he's left the school now.
Isn't it the case that you've described in your book cases that were reported, let's say 100 years ago, back in the 19th century, of people who talked about airships?
Well, the article's there by Jerome Clark, who's been a student of the UFO phenomenon for many years, and he went back and looked into the newspaper accounts of the airship craze of the last decade of the 19th century, and many of those vehicles would look kind of like balloons or looked like the technology of the time, but he went further than that. He actually did an exhaustive search of all of the photographs he could find and the descriptions, and lo and behold, many of them did appear very much like the current modern-day UFO, but the people of the time did not have in our culture the technological knowledge to actually see them as what they were. Mm-hmm. So he's concluded that these were probably UFOs not so different from what we're seeing now, but our perceptual development hadn't reached the point where they could be perceived the way we now can see things in the sky more or less as we at least think they are.
Where the spaceship had landed, all the insects and ants and stuff like that were all dead, and there was a huge black mark there. And my mum said it might have just been a fire there, but I don't think there was. I think it was the alien ship.
Yeah, but you've gone to the place, of course, and have you seen anything?
No, we weren't allowed
An
there.
evidence, I mean, that it was there?
Some other people came to the school and they went out the boundary of the playground and they went to go and see what had happened there, and they saw that the grass was burnt and all the living things had died there in that area.
Why? You have nightmares about it?
Yes, I used to, but then after about a year I stopped dreaming about it. I dreamt that the same one I saw without hair, he came into my bedroom and he took me from my bed.
Did you dream that?
Yes.
Yeah?
And then I just screamed. I woke up and screamed.
And what did your mom say?
Well, she just kept on saying it was a nightmare. She didn't really believe me.
I wasn't scared a bit.
I think the aliens came because they're curious like us, and well, they want to learn about us and we want to learn about them.
Some people say that people are saying that the aliens came to warn us something's going to happen, that something bad is going to happen to the earth.
I think they came here to try and warn us that the children, because we're young,
We've got a long time.
we've got a long time till we die, to warn us that when we're older, there's something going to happen to the earth.
Yeah, not to pollute, because we're young, we can still prevent it.
Yeah.
Do you still have all that feeling? That as a child you can do a lot?
Yeah.
Yes, I have it.
Yeah?